And we are back. Cyber event. This is day number 4. And today's room is going to be AI and security. Old Saint Nick. So the learning objective of today's room is learning how AI can be used as an assistant in cybersecurity for a variety of roles, domains, and tasks. Using an AI assistant to solve various tasks within cybersecurity and some of the considerations, particularly in cybersecurity, surrounding the use of AI. So we're going to have an attack box and we're going to need a VM today, which I'm going to do the virtual just so it's easier on the screen. Go ahead and start up both of these. And our machine has successfully loaded up. So we now have the IP address of local and the target machine. So we're now connected. And close that out. All right, here we go. The boom of AI. Yes, artificial intelligence, the buzzword that seems here to stay. Who would have thought? Today's room will highlight some of the ways AI is utilized in cybersecurity, along with important considerations to bear in mind when deploying AI for such tasks. Particularly at the time of writing, AI is increasingly seen as a tool to boost speed by handling often tedious, time-consuming tasks, allowing humans to perform the real magic. Organizations want to see experience, not avoidance, in how these tools are operated. GPT this, GPT that. We've all heard it often, too often, and it's likely to persist. As AI's capability expand daily, we've observed a shift from AI being just something to ask because you're too lazy to Google. Now, AI is being embedded into everyday workflows, transforming how tasks are done and boosting productivity like never before. With that said, let's begin today's room. So, features of AI: processing large amounts of data, analyzing vast data from multiple types of sources, behavior analysis, and generative AI. So defensive security, offensive security, everybody's using AI. Software considerations. One such consideration in the use of AI and activities like offensive penetration testing. We must think carefully about data AI learns from, how transparent and fair its decisions are, and how reliable it remains when the unexpected occurs. We cannot assume the output from AI is 100% correct. Efforts must be made to verify the information it provides. Additionally, managing challenges such as keeping data private, securing AI models, and informing users properly requires careful consideration. Ready for an exciting exercise? You will be interacting with Van Solvit, who will guide you through 3 showcases of how AI can be used in cybersecurity: red team, blue team, and software. When you're ready, you can access it at this IP. So we're going to go over here. Okay, so now we have our AI chatbot. So usage tips for this page: chatbot responses may appear blank for a minute or two while it generates the reply. You will start to see Van Solver's response in real time. If the chatbot gets confused at any time, press restart. As you progress, stages will unlock. Complete the AI showcase by pressing through all the stages. There we go, that's a lot better. Okay. Complete that stage. All right, so welcome to the Red Team Showcase. I can help you generate Python scripts for the vulnerabilities within the web application of today's advent of cyber web applications. Shall we begin? Let's go. AI is thinking. This AI has been thinking for a long time now. This must be ChatGPT Sleepy instead of ChatGPT. I don't know what's going on. Let's do restart chat. Oh, it's finally done thinking. So it's basically telling us the vulnerability exists because the username field in the login page is vulnerable to SQL injection. We talked about that in day 2 or day 1, I believe. The SQL query is intentionally crafted to include malicious SQL code, such as alias or 101, which can be used to execute arbitrary SQL commands. This allows attackers to manipulate the database, potentially exposing sensitive data or altering system configurations. How to save the file: open a terminal, use nanoscript to create the file, paste the script, save the file, and then run the script. Always follow the guideline. Okay. So we're going to copy this script. Then we're going to go to our terminal. We're going to paste. Then we're going to do Control O. File name. Okay. So now we have our script. If we cat that, we now have our script there. So let's go ahead and continue. Now here's the blue team showcase. I'm just gonna say, hey, to get it started. It's gonna think for another 5 minutes. ChatGPT sleep. Also, we need to change this IP inside the file that we have. So we're gonna go back to terminal here. So we're gonna go back to nano. And then we're going to go ahead and save that. And we see now the AI is finally speaking back to us. So now we have some log entries here. And then we have analysis of the log, basically give us the IP, the time and the day, the URL that it attacked, the username attempted, and the actual SQL injection used. Why this matters: logging is essential for detecting potential security breaches. It helps identify if users are exploiting vulnerabilities, which can be a sign that the application is vulnerable. Blue team members should focus on patching weaknesses, like updating password parameter validation to prevent SQL injection. All right, so we're done with that stage. So AI is responding to us now. We see some PHP, we see some formatting guidelines. So identification of a specific vulnerability. This code uses double question marks to initialize variables with empty strings, allowing attackers to pass malicious input into the database. Why this code is vulnerable: the double question mark is a common vulnerability in PHP where unvalidated input is directly used without sanitization. This allows attackers to inject malicious code into the database, potentially leading to breaches or unauthorized access. So how can we prevent this? Use prepared statements or parameterized queries to prevent SQL injection, sanitize all user input, and validate and restrict input values to prevent unauthorized access. Tools and techniques for code security testing: use tools like MySQLi or PDO to securely handle database interactions, implement input validation and sanitization, and conduct regular code reviews and security audits. Complete showcase. So I guess we're done with that. And here's our flag. And first flag is complete. Now it wants us to run this exploit, execute the exploit provided by the red team agent against a vulnerable web application hosted at that IP we said earlier. What flag is provided? And it just says here, remember to update the IP. So we've already done that. So what we're going to do is go back to the terminal here. And we have that script. So we're going to do Python 3 script.py. It's going to run that script. So we did get an error when trying to run that script. No connection adapters were found. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we copied the wrong script. So we're going to go ahead and recopy this here. And we're going to go back into Nano. Let's see. So we're going to do okay. There we go. So we're gonna delete all of that, and then we're gonna paste our new script. Okay. And then we're gonna go back here. Okay. So we're gonna save. And we're gonna exit. And that time it was a success, and we can see our flag is right here. sAInt exploit. So we're just gonna copy that. And just like that, that's the last. And we are all done. If you're watching this on Twitter, make sure to follow me on YouTube at rxsklife. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to follow me on Twitter at rxsklife. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.